Hi, welcome to We Are the People. This is Jacob Milton. I'd like to invite each and every single audience, whoever open up or tuned on their television every Thursday at 10:30. Every week, whenever I think of doing a talk show, I'm having difficulties that what subject I should pick. I'm being asked by my distinguished ladies and gentlemen, those who become the guest and part of the We Are the People family. Sometimes I'm getting confused. I asked my producer that we can pick a subject which is really very effective based on our country's governing policy as well as our infrastructure or some other issues. But unfortunately, when I'm looking at my country, I like to talk about politics. And when I do my research, there is no politics. When we are talking about economy or economic policy or development, there is no such a called economic policy or financial policy, regulation or deregulation. When we are looking at law and order, we can talk about the development of the law and order situation, but there is no law and order. So what we are going to talk about our country? We're going to talk about our country, the way it is, the way our country is governing. But before I go into that subject, I'd like to express my condolences to the family that last week We Are the People Forum did an event. At that event, one of the Bangladeshi pioneer who was doing an accounting business in Jackson Heights area for the last 30 years. Within 2 hours of our event, he got heart attack and he died. We had just finished that event. 1:30 in the morning, I had to run to the hospital. And when I went to the hospital, I had no choice but to accept the dead body. That family, I know them for 30 years, wonderful family. The gentleman who was with us for that long, suddenly he disappeared. His name is Mohammed Humayun Khan, very familiar face in Jackson Heights. Perhaps most of the people knew him. I'd like to ask every single viewers, if you know him, just say a little prayer for him. I would appreciate it. Having said, let's go back to our country. We have a couple of things. I asked my previous guest that we can talk about the problem, but how we can solve our problem. One of my distinguished guests was Dr. Mina Farah. I asked her how we can solve our country's policy, how we can come out of this dark side of the history of Bangladesh, then we can go to the other side. She offered me her advice that we need a leader like Ho Chi Minh, Mao Zedong, or a leader like Zia Rahman. Question is, history taught us no leader can replace others in the past, but some leader can come up and take the flag, go forward, and do something. Today, I have two guests, very familiar face in electronics media as well as printing media. One is Dr. Showkat, professionally a professor at Long Island University. He's a political activist and commentator. And he's kind enough to spare his time for this talk show. And with me, I also have a very familiar face to electronics media as well as printing media. She is no other than Dr. Mina Farah. Showkat bhai,
yes, thank
welcome
you.
to the sir.
Thank you.
Appa, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mina Appa, we have a rumor that in Bangladesh, our police forces and RAB include some of the paramilitary from Indian government or RAW. Do you think that rumor has any basis or it's just a rumor?
It is not a rumor, it is a fact. A rumor is when something you are guessing
And fact is, when you see something, if you read through the print media, not so much in the electronic, but the print media, there has been discussions that these unknown faces or faces that we know from the neighboring country, they have entered into all kinds of forces. They have entered, they are taking over into all kinds of businesses in our country. They have, they are in the army, they are inside the government, in almost in every branches or every institutions that the government is running. They have been they are not they are not few. They are really influxing our government and the private sector.
Wait a minute. You are saying they are not few. It means there could be thousands.
Thousands. Yeah. I mean, this week there are 3 Indian movies. I'm going to say it openly. There's nothing to hide. The 3 Indian movies supposed to be opened into the movie halls today, and Humayun Ahmad's movie Krishna Pakha only got a few halls. This is in the newspaper, in the print media, that these 3 movies taken over the rest of the movie halls, but Humayun Ahmad, person like Humayun Ahmad, his movie didn't get a chance, only a few. So you can see how they have been entered our private sector, taking over our businesses, the corporates, and inside the government, inside the army, they're everywhere. So if you talk about the rumor, it is not rumor, it's a fact. Maybe they're undercover, maybe they are not officially, but officially also many high level posting, they are not they are from Bangladesh. I mean, officially they cannot be from the neighboring country, but there are controversies about their identities, why there are so many when they are minorities, why they are in such a high number into the higher posts. And then also, if you talk about if they are coming from the neighboring country, you are talking about the rumor. These people have literally taken over the private sector, and they are in undercover position inside the government in many important branches that we can talk about it later. So it's not a rumor, it's a fact.
Do you agree with the assessment of Dr. Mina Farah that she thinks that it is true, it's not rumor, that paramilitary of India, they are covering our police forces, our RAB, our military? Do you agree with her?
First of all, many thanks for our audience. After a pretty long time I am here. So the question you ask, it is subject to verification. Yes, I had the rumor, I read about it. One event I can remember, that about 9 years ago, when there was a BDR massacre, we know it is a BDR massacre. On that event, one lady, her name is Kanis Fatima, she was a captain, and she was assigned to investigate. It is on YouTube, anybody can say. She openly pointed couple of arms, which is hanging practically, and she said, this is not our arms. We military never use these arms.
So you are saying
our police does not use it. Where the arms came from, and it is a huge quantity of arms, number one. Number two, that time there was a rumor that some Indian people came into the Pilkhana and massacred these people, our people, all the first class army officer and our BDR that time. So it is an evidence, quote and unquote. Now, you give them transit, you give them roads, you give them communication. They are entering from Benapur and exit to Agartala from Kumilla. This is the route they can bring their merchandise. In the name of merchandise, if
but
people
exactly
come,
coming arms. Yep.
They can bring the arms, people's army, paramilitary, as you mentioned, and it is possible they can do it. That is the reason. Number 2 point I want to make. The current Prime Minister herself pointed, and she said very clearly, openly, publicly, that we need to investigate the police officers. Who are they? I don't know what does she mean. She never explained to our nation What does it mean? Is it mean what she actually want to see from the police forces? If she mean, is it our Bangladeshi forces or somewhere else come? Then probably I can say that she asked a very good question, who are these police people? So, as Mina says that things are getting probably different way now, I think that is completely possible because the level of communication, the level of cooperation, level of dependency in terms of foreign policy, economic policy. You see some people already demanding that there will be no passports. Some people say what is called Gorul Mangso, that we will not eat beef because India stop it, why not us? You see, under this type of environment, if you voice against those forces, then something could happen. And if it happens, then who will be beneficial and who will be benefited out of it? It is, of course, India. So there people could be in Bangladesh with the Hindu name or the Muslim name even. We look same, right?
Yep.
Our forefather is same generation. They speak probably the same language or different language, but they could be in our police, RAB, could be public official, as Farah said.
But do you think when Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina says we need to investigate the police, it means, do you think that paramilitary of India can be the member of police or RAB without her knowledge?
That question should be asked to her because, listen, again, during the BDR massacre, you know, after four months,
yes,
we have no forces at all in the border area.
Okay.
4 months, nobody. It is the Indian security forces. They took over all our borders. Look, when the border is open, anybody can come and go.
Right.
As free will. So, if they come with or without the Prime Minister knowledge, yes,
anything
they can.
happen.
Yes, they can come. It's a free border. And second point, the BGB, as I told you earlier, another show. I don't like the name itself, BGB, because Bangladesh border guard. You should not say it is a border guard. You see, when you say it's a guard, then there is a possibility of goal. You know, guard we have.
Yes.
So the guard should be inside the country to manage and to protect the public and peace and tranquility.
Right.
That is called border guard, national guard all over the world. It is no problem. I have no problem with that. But when you say the border guard, then it does not make sense in terms of connotation. So I'll explain further later on.
Dr. Farah, what Dr. Showkat is saying, do you think it is possible that there is the infiltration of the Indian paramilitary in police, RAB, BDR or somewhere without the knowledge of Prime Minister?
I think we have to address the very basic issue. When I met someone from Awami League about in 2011, I think, that time I had a pretty good idea what is going to happen, and this is what is happening now. So the core point is our government is our government into any kind of negotiation with the Indian government? Yes. You can see all the things. We don't need a passport. We talk about the BDR massacre. The people, he was talking about the arms. Yes, those are all in the YouTubes. So BDR is a very calculated, premeditated murder just to take a control of our border. I know that very much because I live in the border area.
Right.
You cannot, our BGB rifles is BDR. Rifles is the one who really protect the border.
Right.
And a guard is only watch it from far.
Right.
Guard and rifle is two different things.
Different
so rifle is gone, BDR is here. And why? Because there's India and Bangladesh has the longest border in the world. It's the longest. This border, there was there are few, I think about 112 BSF officers got killed in 2000 during Khaleeda Zia's time, 2001. So what I'm saying that you can see the BDR situation here. That mutiny went nowhere. It's a secret. So who did it? How it happened? And the day it happened, there was general amnesty, you know, within a couple of hours that the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina declared general amnesty.
General amnesty for who?
For the people who did the mutiny.
But
you know
lots
that.
of people were being hanged, though.
I mean, there was
that's
3
a different-
investigation.
that's different.
None of the investigation came to daylight. What happened, nobody knows. There was general mutiny, and this Tawheed, the
DAD.
leader,
Yeah, the
he
leader,
went
yeah.
to Jamuna, and then he was eating tea
nice
and
breakfast,
biscuit, and then
yes.
negotiating with the
With the Prime
PM.
Minister.
And the PM was talking with Pranab Mukherjee. So Moini Ahmed, he said that this is the day when the Prime Minister should be making a decision with us alone. And what those mutiny, the people who did the mutiny, why they are there. So, and then the Prime Minister issued a general amnesty. So, you're talking about the paramilitary. When I met somebody 2011, I had a pretty good idea this is going to happen today. If you remember, Sajib was a joy. He gave an interview to the Daily Telegraph in India. What he said that after the, before the election, I think the interview was in 2013. That's a very important interview. If you read through his word, he said that that Army League, I'm damn sure Army League is going to come to power.
Right.
He said that in that interview. He also said that if anybody wants to kill my mother, they have to, anybody wants to kill my mother, they have to walk over an ocean of blood.
Okay.
So that means what?
He was being guaranteed by the Indian government.
So that somebody is living inside the government, giving protection to the government.
Yep.
So the situation is this: today, our PM cannot even go out. She do all her events through video conference. Yesterday, last night, she did some opening of something. Everything is through video conference. Why? The country has become so unstable and so restless. Even she is not safe. She cannot go out. There may be a public outcry. That's one thing. Second thing is, people who are really guarding us, who are they? Who are in the army? You know, the suspicious people, who are they? We have to look to the basic, the core problem. Core problem is our country may not be a country as a whole if it continues like this, because the Indians, I mean, Modi is a very smart man. He's a real politician. He got more than he wanted. He got everything. Now all the borders are open. He can do anything. And then all the roads, all the port, everything is given. And all those agreements they are signed. Nobody knows even what's in there. Not even the opposition knows. There is no opposition. It's a backboneless democracy in our country. So I think we need a bigger discussion. We need to talk about it. We need some investigation, what is happening. If you talk about this, if somebody is coming in our country running the government, I would say yes, why not? They are doing it.
Dr. Showkat Ali, a couple of days ago, there's an article in London Guardian. They are talking about, you remember one of the district called Satkira? There was a massacre during that, I think, Jamaat Islami, before the election. Yes. They was told, they were talking about 11 individuals who acted right in front of everybody, and none of the people was being verified, because journalists went there, pull out their 11 picture and ask the government who are those people. Government refused to answer that these are the people. It's a simple question that you asked, I asked, Mina Farah asked, that you responded, it has to be investigated fast or proof, any sorts of proof. There is 11 individual. And another things happen. Is it that Hifazat-e-Islami, when there was a massacre on the street?
Yeah.
On that time, they comes up very close look of 36 individuals who are acting in Dhaka. Those people. News media try to verify those information with the government, and government failed to do it. And not failed, they refused to identify all those people. Even one of the journalists from CNN, another journalist from London Guardian and BBC, when they tried to interview, I think ISPR, military information side of Bangladesh Army, they refused to do the interview because they says, give us the question in writing, and then if we feel like answer, we are going to answer, otherwise we are not going to answer. Now, I'm going to change the subject. Is it fair to say that Bangladeshi paramilitary, Bangladeshi military, Bangladeshi police forces, and RAB, as I says, whether there is an active member or not, I think they are managed by another country's espionage agency or another country's member of their paramilitary, those who are running our country's defense and any other things. Is it very fair to say?
No, it's not fair to say. Listen, I, with my own observation, I have a big respect, a great respect for our armed forces.
Okay.
It is the armed forces, 1971, first revolted under the leadership of Major Zia Rahman at that time. They sacrificed a lot. After even independence, they are the one first, their leadership is crushed. Yes, we have a question, why they crashed, who did it, who make the conspiracy, who go against each other. We can ask that type of question. But I believe that our armed force, they are our brother. Their skin is just like your and mine skin. They are not coming from other peoples. Indoctrination training is a different thing. I don't believe that our armed forces corrupted. I believe I have a respect, always loved them. I have a very small part during 1971. I fought against Pakistani forces with the help of that time EPR.
Yes.
This is the reason when they talk about BDR massacre, this and that, everybody, some, especially pro-government people blame the BDR. I always shouted against them. I raised my voice because they are the first defense line that we attacked.
Yes.
Especially in Khulna, Golamari radio station with Major Jalil and the Sattu League leader that time, Kamruzzaman Tuko. I vividly remember that thing. So I don't want to say anything about dishonoring them. However, later on, after the BDR, listen, I am bringing BDR because it was 25th of February, just 3 days ago.
But I don't understand. You are saying you disagree with that. You are saying that you respect your military. I do respect my military. But when you know that in Army, Navy, and Air Force, they follow chain of command.
Yes, of course.
And if that
nothing
command,
wrong.
If there is a corruption on the top, or someone else acting like a chief of army or director of military intelligence or director of military operation, they are following the chain of command without knowing.
No, listen. Even they follow the command of chain. Remember one thing, I tell you right now, our armed forces are very smart enough. I tell you one thing, in 1975, last week of November, Zia Rahman said one thing. He was fearing about the Indian invasion after the demise of Khalid Musharraf.
Right.
General Usmani and General Zia Rahman had a meeting, and they said, I don't want to mention another party, one of the great powers, mentioned them to the ambassador and said very clearly that, listen, tell them, this is not 1971, this is 1975, and we have 65,000 armed forces, and I started the revolt against Pakistan practically with no armed forces. We are very united, and our peoples, the total Bengali peoples are united. So tell them, tell India not to think about those things. Okay? So I am very proud, as I said, they are very smart, they can watch, they can observe. They are our brother, sister. Okay? They are our mother, children. I hope not. When time is come, if it is needed, they will never betray with you against our nation and the interest of our future.
I wish,
I can give you guarantee. Yes, there could be, no, listen. There could be some criminals, Mirjafars. It has been. It could be. But listen, do not, generalize. Even in the police, there are very high, good quality police. Those who are in the RAB, they are very good quality RABs. They watch it. What the leader, the commander-in-chief, the damn name of the commander-in-chief, you said, whatever it comes, they will know exactly. Do you know, during the hesitation, during the election, the police defied the command of the chain of command, the so-called damn chain of command. The military defied the commanders. So if it is necessary, I believe, as a patriot, myself, what is in my heart, I am not alone. There are a lot of people in Bangladesh, in armed forces, in the RAF, in the police. We are united. We know one thing very well, that 250 years under the subjugation of British rule. After that, we got Pakistan. Who made the Pakistan possible? We. We got our independence in 1947 with the same boundary we got 1971. We know who are Indians.
Okay.
We know that. So if time comes, I am 100% confident that they will get an appropriate response. I don't know who will defend what, but they will get an appropriate response. Remember, last question. Rajiv Gandhi said to Sri Lankan problem that I will take 48 hours to finish Sri Lanka and bring the Tamil people on power. Remember, after a couple of months, what happened?
It didn't happen.
It did not only happen. Where is Rajiv Gandhi?
He's gone.
Sri Lanka was a smaller country than us. So you can do one time, two times, third time will be difficult, brother. I can tell you, I love our people, I love our nation, I respect all the brothers in armed forces.
And I'll tell you.
And tell them, tell the chain of command in the name of the damn thing. Do not make the same mistake again and again.
I'll tell you, Dr. Showkat.
Don't make me emotional.
Dr. Showkat, I wish I can agree with you, but another thing I'll say. Minappa, I respect what Dr. Showkat says, but I disagree with something. He compared Sri Lankan situation with Bangladesh. I'm sure he knows that Sinhalese and Tamil, they did not had Awami League government, and they did not had another Sheikh Hasina in Sri Lanka. That time, who was the president of Sri Lanka, Rana Singhe Premadasa, one of the pioneer of Sri Lankan nationalism. He says, I cannot allow Indian forces come here, invade, and do control Tamil and give it to me. I mean, Java province, that's what he was referring to. But right now we have a prime minister who literally has no connection with the people, who has zero care about our country's sovereignty as well as our independence. Why we do expect that that prime minister will play the role of Rana Singhe Premadasa. However, that is his expectation. I believe personally, Sheikh Hasina do not control our armed forces service. And I have tons of respect for the armed forces service, as Dr. Showkat Bhai says. I think that's all of our expectation. I don't think Army, Navy, Air Force are not in a position to stop the infiltration of the Indian paramilitary or maintain the chain of command to save the sovereign country named Bangladesh. What do you think?
I don't know how to answer this very complicated issue. I think we're missing the basic point. Like I said, we are not who we are. We pretend that we have a country. We pretend that we are Bangladeshi. But look, the way the country is being run.
Okay.
Is it run by us or somebody is running us?
It doesn't look like.
It doesn't look like because there is no accountability. Our illegal prime minister, either she is in the army jeep or she is at home. She has no other.
Dr. Farah, with all respect, I loved what you says, our illegal prime minister.
Yeah, I always say illegal prime. I never say
I love that terminology.
Yeah. Illegal is illegal.
Unelected.
No, I wouldn't say unelected. I would say illegal prime minister.
Okay. Illegal prime. Either she is in the jeep or she is inside the home. She has no other place to go. Who is running our country? I lost the question. The question was
Army, Navy, Air Force. Even though they are patriot, I love them, but they are not in a position.
But you don't compare the apple with the potato. Right. You have to compare the apple with the apples. You're talking about the Sri Lanka and India that time, and you're talking about Bangladesh now.
Yes.
I wrote in my Facebook article today that it seems like we have done 47 to give power to Awami League. Yep. Looks like, and it is proven, like we have done 71 for Sheikh Hasina, for nobody else. Though Sheikh Hasina was in Dhaka for 9 months, having tea and coffee with her husband was having tea and coffee with Raufar Manali. She was having a child in CMH, and her grandmother was getting treatment in a PG hospital, and everything was arranged by Raufar Manali. And Raufar Manali, when they had been killing minorities, at the same time they have been taking care of the Sheikh family so good. So question is, I lost the question again.
Can I add something?
Don't compare the apple with the potato. Right. Our military, going back to the Showkat Bhai, I disagree with due respect that his confidence it goes prior to 1981, because Ziaur Rahman army and Ershad army, you're not going to compare the apple with the potato. What Ziaur Rahman was, what Ershad was, is two different kind of animal.
Right.
Okay, and after that, what happened? This government handpicked the army chief.
Right.
This time,
right.
She made one brother army chief, and she made just like illegal. No accountability, no vote, nothing, no public opinion, nothing. She made another one in a mayor.
She made another. Mayor. She made. I think she brought one of the family member out of his retirement to make him army chief.
So one brother became the army chief and one brother became the mayor. So is the army doing their job this time?
Absolutely not.
With all due respect, I will say Ziaur Rahman army and Ershad army and this army is not the same. This army is here just to protect, to take care of Sheikh people, Sheikh Hasina, so that she will stay there for the length of the time she wants to. They are all protecting Sheikh Hasina while the country is drowning into corruption. You can see money is fleeing our country. It was in the newspaper that 82,000 crore has fled in a few years. 82,000 crore. So where this money is going? It's coming in New York, it's going in Australia, it's going in Canada. Why this is happening? Because we don't have a legal government. It's an illegal government. Why this is happening? Because the government depends on corruption to stay in power. And army, if they are doing their job, I would say that yes, they are doing their job. Only they are protecting a few people, and top of the list is the Sheikh Hasina. And if you see the army today, they're the most beneficiary of this illegal government. You can see the amount of wealth they have been receiving, the highest amount of wealth they have been receiving. Look at their salary. Look at the land they're getting. Look at the things they're getting. Everything they're getting. They're getting like all of a sudden we see influx of wealth pouring into their system. Why you pour so much wealth into their system? There must be a reason behind it. Nobody else, teachers are crying, for salary. Other people don't have job. People are fleeing the country like a labor, labor class. Yeah. They have been looking for a job. People are driving the graduate. They're doing CNG. Why people are fleeing? Because there is no job. On the other side of the coin is army is being given so much wealth, they're becoming like an elephant.
Right.
Why they're being given so much?
Physically, they are not even qualified to do a march past now.
Right. So why they're giving so much money? They have been given the highest salary. Yeah, and then the lands they have been given a few days ago. They have been given everything, and while the others are starving. Why this is going on? Is the army for the people? I would say it's not for the people. It's to protect the government only. So I would disagree with Dr. Showkat. It's not the same.
Dr. Farah, Dr. Showkat Ali, we're gonna take one small commercial break. We'll be right back. Audience, I'm talking to Dr. Mina Farah and Dr. Showkat Ali. We are talking about a very important subject. This conversation starts as a rumor, but it doesn't seem like we are talking on a rumor. We are talking about something which is real. Please stay with us. We'll be right back after our commercial break.
Usually, no one likes the hassle of going to court, dealing with government agencies, or law enforcement. The reality is, we live in a world where all of that is inevitable. Legal Network International LLC has all the legal sources of the 21st century. We are armed with dozens of attorneys, CPAs, and other needed professionals. Here is a word from one of the attorneys at Legal Network International, LLC.
Hello, I'm Donna Sullivan. I'm an attorney in Queens, New York. I attended St. John's University School of Law in Queens, and since I attended law school in Queens, I've been living in Queens. I practice in the area of criminal defense work, and I've been doing it for almost 30 years. I've been working with the same person doing the same work for all of these years. And I'm proud to say that my partner is my partner in crime, Edward R. Hammack. The experiences that we've had together over the past 30 years are things that I would never give up or ever try to redo. Because from those experiences, I've learned a lot about life, and I've learned a lot about community, because community is the core of our lives.
Welcome back to the show. This is Jacob Milton, and we are talking to Dr. Mina Farah. We are talking to Dr. Showkat Ali in regards to a subject that paramilitary of India, how they infiltrated in our country and running our police forces, BDR, RAB, and even Army. Dr. Farah, we are going to change the subject. We talk about that subject. So at this point, I think we can conclude very fairly that we are not in charge of our own police forces. We are not in charge of BDR. We are not in charge of military, Army, Navy, Air Force at all.
We are not in charge of our country.
Well said. Would you like to add something when she says we are not in control of our own country?
Well, definitely it is the country and the nation as a whole misguided by the leadership. When Salman Khurshid gave an interview in India very recently and said that we have no choice but to support Sheikh Hasina because she is protecting our interests. So all the discussion you are saying, it is actually approved seal by the State Department of India. When Sujata Singh come in Bangladesh and tell Ershad that you must need to attend, the contest in the election, and he said, I did not apply and the time is over, I cannot apply. But she said, no, we will take care of this thing, you will be the opposition leader. If you don't do that, somebody else will come in the name of election. So it is very tragic. I understand the government opened this type of path. It is wrong for definitely for our country. Remember, our nation achieved independence through actually bloodbath, right? You should not misread. I tell you one thing. Say, for example, I take your scenery. Sheikh Hasina is approving everything. If you think about, I think I mentioned it in the other shows, that tell our foreign secretary or go India, and the way Salman Khurshid went to the Shahbag and clap his hand to see our boys. Remember that?
Yep.
Our secretary, you think political secretary can go in New Delhi and doing this type of thing? It's impossible.
Not. It's possible.
Our secretary cannot meet secretly in a hospital.
Right.
Ershad was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And tell them, listen, you go against this current government, otherwise somebody else will come. It is impossible. It is a shame on them, those who are in power. There is no question about it. We are not part of any high command, any government. We are the patriot people. Those who are living here, we are sending money to them, not the other way around. So we have every right to speak out. But listen, the conclusion is here. Say, for example, after a certain period, the government can allow, it is called Indian hegemony. But my brother, it is you or the newspaper or journalist, it is our obligation to create an awareness from home and abroad. If it is, we fail, it is our also, we are also criminal. It is our obligation to bring the awareness. Second thing, if India thinks, remember one thing, in 1971, with a great hope that Bangladesh will be an satellite state for India. That was the whole idea for Indira Gandhi. But look, General Arora was a Punjabi Sikh, and all the armed forces in front of me, They are all with the turban, with the beard. Within 2 years, they go back. After looking at the Bangladeshi people, our unity, our patriotism, the love of our country, our emotion, within 2 years, they started the Khalistan movement. And basically, she crashed the movement. After all, she was killed by the Sikh again, those who fought with us. India should not forget that. Bangladesh is a totally different soil. Brother, here if they come, look, why you say all the time, I always opposite. India is a great power, rising power, get the hell out. What is rising power? There are so many, over a billion people. Look at this. Our country, our nation, our communication, our system, our technology, much more better than India. They are suffering economically with this given condition. You come and mess around in Bangladesh. You have a problem with the Seven Sisters. Listen, India will be disintegrated. I am telling you in this show.
But that's not
India
going to
will be disintegrated.
Dr.
If
Showkat.
you touch us and if you say that, okay, kill this Muslim, we don't like it. Listen, there will be fundamentalism in India itself. They will be bombing in everywhere in India because to control. Remember one thing, the size of the country is like a New York state, Bangladesh. But the size of the population is 175 million.
Half of the United States.
Half of the United States population. You go mess around, my friend. Yes, we are Bangladeshi people. I will do something for you, take some money and play a game with you. But at a certain time or point, I will realize this is my people, I cannot go against these people, okay? And we'll get big bamboo and India will be disintegrated. I am telling you, write it. If they mess around with us, our armed forces, I respect them. There is a mistake, there is a problem of training, and there is a question of the, the behavior of the police. I agree, but it is not for everybody. Not for everybody.
How you think this government is ruling the country? After their term was over, it's almost 2-3 years. Now, I understand that inside the country, our opposition political leader, they cannot say anything because she ordered directly to shoot and kill people. But how come they cannot come up and do something and there is no agenda they can come up with and say, do you know what, we are going to resist this government, number one. And number two, you have tons of expectation from armed forces service. They are sitting down and they are being fed well the way Dr. Farah described it, and I agree with her.
Okay, the thing is here, the opposition leader, as you know, the January 5th election and all those things, after that, yes, they have a weakness. They have a problem with the leadership. Yes, they have a problem of ideology. We should also scrutinize them. We don't know. Maybe there is some Indian agent in the opposition also. Do not blame only the Hasina government.
How can you say that?
No.
Dr. Farah and Dr. Showkat, when leader of the BNP is acting like an Indian B team.
I am just telling you this. If the opposition party and the government party both love the foreign policy and Indian foreign policy and which is in the name of Indian hegemony,
right,
then there is a problem. Now the question is, yes, the BNP government is hiding in that cover that I cannot say nothing because there is no democracy. Okay, there is no democracy. But you're right. I agreed with you. I agreed with Mina Farah. The way the vacuum getting bigger and bigger, maybe there will be a time that the opposition party will not come up, quickly to, take the advantage of the emotion of the people. That is their failure. They should not think, BNP should not think that only Army League alternative is BNP. If BNP does not talk against the Indian hegemony, against the Indian control, against the Indian influence in our all forces, then BNP itself is a problem. Now, in BNP, there are a group of people, they think we need Indian blessings and we need the Indian love so that India will come and put in the power. You think our people is stupid? They don't know they love Hasina government. And if they love this similarly with the BNP,
with due all respect to
there
you,
is a big problem.
With due all respect to you, this is people's conclusion. the way BNP's leadership is acting right now, they would like to play the role of Indian B team when Awami League is playing Indian A team. What is the possibility you think Khaleda Zia or Tariq Zia will do when they themselves play as Indian B team? There is no expectation.
Well, look, the thing is, it is here. It is you people, the media, you have to bring some kind of awareness to help the nation, to help the opposition party.
How
it is true that there is no democracy in this country.
How a media will comes up when a newspaper editor like Mahfouz Anam, I think they're going to hang him like Ghulam Azam, or they're going to, I'm sorry, they're going to hang him like Kader Mullah or Mujahid or someone. They're gonna hang this guy, and they're gonna make an example out of Mahfouz Anam. And you are saying making an error? My name is Jacob Milton. I'm doing a simple, ignorant talk show, sitting down and talking to you guys, and this show's international side was being sabotaged from India and Bangladesh. My network people says they have no idea where that attack comes from. Now you are saying you give it direction?
Listen, that means you're doing something good for your people. That means it is doing for your nation. What is your problem? I don't see any problem.
I'm not talking.
You doing your job. Let them do their job, we'll do. One voice is very important. Given the situation of the nation, I understand. But we are not here to blame everybody. The government will come up some kind of plan and program. I hope, if they want to do politics in this country next 100 years, okay? Simple as this.
It doesn't
if they say, listen, read from the history, they should learn from the history. You cannot appease a foreign nation over Bangladeshi people. This soil is different, brother.
I disagree with him. When Indira Gandhi tried to control Kashmir, they purchased one leader. Do you know what is the name of the leader? Dr. Farooq Abdullah. They thought Farooq Abdullah would be the pioneer of Kashmiri independence.
No, Sheikh Abdullah.
Sheikh Abdullah. Sheikh Abdullah. What happened? Do you think Sheikh Abdullah acted in favor of Kashmiri people? No. He acted in favor of India. And I believe Hasina is playing the same Abdullah game. Why Hasina will act in favor of Bangladesh when Hasina thinks if she becomes the puppet of India, she can stay in power until she goes to her grave.
You got it.
You brought up one subject.
You got it.
You thought, or Dr. Showkat thought, I forgot. I did not. Bangladesh is a secular country. Whether it is real or not, that's what we love to claim. There is over 80%, about 86, 87%.
Bangladesh is a lost country. Don't talk about big secular or fundamental. It's a lost country.
It's a lost country.
That's it.
Okay. We have 86 or 87% of the populations are Muslim. I think
92%, almost 92%.
Muslim, and
rest are minorities.
Minorities. Now, according to the statistics we collected through our own collection in Bangladesh, right now at the Secretariat, Civil Administration, including judicial, over 70% position was being occupied by the minority.
That was I was just telling in the beginning.
I went back to that question, you said it.
Yes.
How does that justify?
There is an outcry against that. I mean, how is it justified? So let me talk about this. In 72, there was a re-election in India.
Yeah.
Indira Gandhi did what Sheikh Hasina did in 5th January.
Yeah.
And people, they wanted her to step down. She did not. Instead, she called the army. So declared a martial in 75.
First time.
And then for the first in the history of India.
Yes.
First time. And then they put her in jail.
Yeah.
Okay, so they put her in jail. That is Indian democracy. If you, another thing is, he said that our people are not stupid. I will say our people are stupid, because if our people are not stupid and the other branches are not stupid, they would not be doing what they have been doing. They're killing. They have been killing people without proof. They're hanging people without proof. They have been doing scandals, which is a mistrials after mistrials after mistrials, and we have been writing and talking about it. It's in the YouTube International Forum, and everybody is against it. They have been sending signals, doing protest. Government give a damn. So she is running the country the way she wants. The question is why she can do this, what she has been doing. There's a reason behind it. Now I will come to the basic point. The basic point is, I said over and over again, Sheikh Hasina is a puppet. It's a clear puppet. Lendub Dorji, famous one for Sikkim. If our country is not going to become a Sikkim, it is going to be like Sikkim. It is already being like Sikkim. Okay, so our country is not in our hand. What Delhi say, we must listen. Delhi say we want the port, we must give them the port. We have been giving the one after the other. It is in the print media. It's in the all kinds of media. We have been given them the roads and the highways. There are pictures that come in the newspaper. Indian 18-wheeler, they are running over. The roads are so weak. We cannot even run our
bus.
Yeah, and then it's a heavy traffic jam in the middle of everything. They are coming from seven sisters, from one to the other. They are running. So Jalpaiguri and Coach Behar and all that. Their chief ministers are like they have just brainwashing Hasina, brainwashing Bangladesh, and then giving gifts and doing this and doing that. Our country is not in our hand. This is what I'm saying. Why is this happening? Now you take the broader pictures. We got four big powers: Russia, China, India, and Japan. They are all is a part of this conspiracy. It's a huge conspiracy going on. This conspiracy started with the 1/11. It got bigger after the Bay of Bengal, the winning the trial, trial that Bay of Bengal, that huge area. Conspiracy even got heavier since then. Why? Because this is my theory. I wrote it in Facebook today, that there are many things working against Bangladeshi democracy. Number one is this big power, China and Russia. They have veto power. So every time you want to destabilize the government, or if you want to overthrow the government, or something happen, they're going to give the veto power in United Nations. So you cannot do what you want to do with Sheikh Hasina. So she's going to be there, and her generation is going to be ruling our country. Her son is going to become next. I say that over and over again. You can picture Bangladesh as a parallel country in next 10 years. If it goes on like this, you can say, is it going to be Bashar al-Assad in Syria? After 5 years of civil war, after 500,000 lives lost, after what's happening in Europe, this influx of refugees, people dying in the Mediterranean Sea, have we been able to get to the Bashar? No. America wants to get rid of Bashar, have been trying with Putin. Can we do it? No. Putin said, don't come in my way. Putin is stealing all the oil at no price, cheapest price, feeding his country and keeping Bashar al-Assad. Why Bashar al-Assad is doing that? Is because he has a big economic chunk, interest with Bashar al-Assad. Otherwise, he would be overthrown a long time ago. Now, there could be a third world war centering the Bashar regime. So what is happening? America doesn't want Bashar, but cannot get rid of it. Same thing is
so
India.
India will do the same thing?
India is our America. India is a rich country. Their people may be poor, but their basic economy is very strong. Their people are strong. Their democracy is strong. People's willpower is strong. People have voices. We don't. So India is ruling our country. Not only us, a regional power. He's ruling many other countries, Nepal, Bhutan, everybody. So India is going to do whatever it needs to do at a time if we want to overthrow Sheikh Hasina. Nobody can overthrow her. Army has been given so much that they are fed so well. They don't have to sit up or get up. All they have to do is sleep. RAB, police, everybody is fed so well. They don't have to say nothing, because where else they going to get so much money? Who is going to give it to them? So the problem got bigger is with the Bay of Bengal. The Bay of Bengal, to my understanding, has $50 trillion worth of gas and oil and the minerals underneath.
And you are saying all those four countries would like to have chunk of it.
Now why this is happening? This is happening because those four countries have invested so much money. China, they invested already about 22 billion. Russia invested about 12 billion. Japan has 6 billion. India, Ambanis have invaded our country like anything, our economics and everything. So if Hasina government leaves, has to go, or
and all those
overthrown,
investment,
who is going to guarantee
I
those
agree.
investment? They have such a big investment in this country. You want it, brother, or not? Army wants it not. Sheikh Hasina has to be in power for their interest, to serve their power, to make sure of their money's return. If they cannot get the money back from our country, they will sell parts of the country and bring their money back. This is what they are doing in Syria. This is they are doing in Middle East in the name of the Arab Bashanta and everything. So you can parallel our country with the Bashar regime. Already Salman Khurshid said we had to do 5th January. Kuldeep Nair said there is no difference between India and Bangladesh. Then Sujata Singh said, brother Yashad, if you don't come to this election, Jamaat is going to power. So they forced the election, made it illegal, created an illegal government. And look, if our people are not stupid, would this be a government would be in power? If, you know, could Ayub Khan last in this country, or Yahya Khan last in this country longer than they could? No. Nothing like this we saw before 71. You know, only a few people died. You know, like Assad, like Motiur, like 52, and then we had a revolt and we got a country. And look, every day people dying like cats and dogs. Nothing is happening. Yes, our people are stupid. Yes, our armies are backboneless. Yes, our administrations are just being fed so well. Yes, we have been invaded. Why we have been invaded is because everybody wants the $50 trillion worth of. Everybody wants that gas, the oil and the minerals. So Bay of Bengal has become a harbor for all this big power, and they will keep Hasina for the longest they can, just like in Middle East, just like in Russia. And then last week, Pankaj Sharma said in Delhi to Sushma Swaraj that I don't think, I also said that in another program, I don't think there is any worry for civil war right now. And there is no worry for the martial law yet. But Sheikh Hasina gave us the word. If something happens, you know, like that, if situation becomes like that, she will be even harder to make sure that there is stability in the country. What he means, does he see that there is another Syria coming in our country?
No.
I think so. I think so that he means that there may be another Syria, time may come, and she will be even harder, and then she will just start killing people just like Bashar is doing. And then if you want to overthrow Bashar, there's a veto power. The Putin is going to give the no. If you want to overthrow Russia, you can't, because Russia has got the veto power. You can't. Okay. If there's one veto power, you know, Russia is still it's a history. Russia put 4 veto power during the birth of Bangladesh, right? In United Nations. That's still here the record. So Russia is going to do the same thing. If anything comes up onto the table, war crime, other crime against Sheikh Hasina, nobody, take my word, nobody can get rid of her. No people's revolution, nothing. It's not going to happen. She is there for good. Her generation is going to be in our country just like others.
Dr. Farah, I commend your courage. Hopefully,
I have a little response, brother.
I will. I think they're gonna bug your users. People are bugging famous people email. I hope you already protected your
just
email.
go to minafarahfacebook.com. Mina Farah Facebook. You will see all this. What I said is there. $50 trillion worth of wealth. Yep. I talk about it today. I'm getting good response. Just go there and see what's happening.
Thank you. Dr. Showkat Ali, you says, is there any response you'd like to make? Please feel free.
Well,
we have very little bit of time, please.
Your show appropriately say the name itself, we are the people. I understand what Minapa is fearing, our patriotic peoples, those who are living in Bangladesh, suffering and fearing under the tyrant government. But you see, you can do those type of thing at a certain period of time. Geopolitics very important. Minapa always says that. She wrote a lot about this thing. I am aware of this thing. But don't forget one thing. Our position in Bangladesh, Indian population over 1 billion, Pakistani population is almost 180 million, we are almost the same, 180 million. On the other side, Arakan, almost 70 to 85 million. On this side, you go Thailand. This is a highly population concentrated region.
Dr.
If you
we
go
are out
for
of time. Please
if you go for civil war, all the economic growth you're talking about,
Yep.
all the economic achievement for India, it will be completely destroyed. The wealth will be lost in the name of Bay of Bengal capturing. Therefore, I don't think it will happen the way we think. It happened, Army League government, the thing they are doing now, after a certain point it will stop. How it will stop? The way it goes in the past. They start fighting each other right now within the government itself. What do you think? There is some good people in Army League, in the government also.
I hope. So. Yeah.
So there will be very soon, hopefully it will be stopped. It could come with the good intention of the government or could be other forces. But I hope not the Mina, the way it says, I hope not. If it is happen, India will be a loser, Burma will be loser, Bangladesh will be #1 loser, and China's position will be also different, very shaky. So this is the reason I am thinking, even you say that we can see that it is happening. Only way we can do just to create an awareness, the way Minapa says, the way you guys endeavor it actually very courageously. Because if I do this type of show with Minapa in Bangladesh, we'll get even worse than Mapujano.
One word. One word.
Dr. Showkat,
one word.
So thank you for your
Thank
courage.
you very much
One
for
word.
coming.
One word. Russia did Crimea. China has done Tibet, and then India did Sikkim, and then Japan has some islands at war with China. Now India has us.
Bangladesh.
Okay, so it is in the history
Minapa,
book.
thank you for your time. Audience, conclusion of the show. I can talk for all day long, but very sadly, I would say, with the same voice as Dr. Farah says, we have a country on the paper named Bangladesh, but we are not the one who is controlling Bangladesh. I hope that sentence don't come out of Dr. Farah's voice or my voice, but the way our country is standing right now, that's the only thing people can conclude. In the future, I'm going to ask both of the guests come to the show and we are going to continue our conversation. Thanks for watching us. This is Jacob Milton. I'd like to invite each and everyone in the future, join me at We Are the People. Thank you.